The month of September is nearly wrapping up, and there are some video game news stories that we definitely have to talk about because it's video game stuff, and I love talking about video games. First off, I have a little bit of a rant for you guys. It's been a while since I've done a rant, but Arcade 1-Up, you're kind of pissing me off, so we definitely have to talk about that situation. Next up, I want to give you guys an update on Retromania Wrestling, which was a game that we unveiled on this channel for the Nintendo Switch, because there's a new character coming to the game, and I'm very excited for it. Then we have to talk about Nintendo. Nintendo is dropping bombs with things like Ring Fit Adventure, and they actually just announced another first-party Nintendo Switch game that will be coming out in 2019. And finally, the EA and Nintendo Switch situation has definitely come to a head, and we definitely have to talk about this situation. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about what's going on in the world of video game news. Alright, so let's start off with a good old-fashioned rant, because it's been a little bit since we've done a standard rant on something, but I am a little bit pissed off by this situation, and you're definitely going to see why. So Arcade 1-Up, I obviously love these machines. I have 3 of them behind me, and I've ordered 2 more of these machines. Of course, those being the Marvel Superheroes Arcade 1-Up cabinet and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade 1-Up cabinet. Now, the Marvel one I ordered through Arcade 1-Up's website because they had a special edition that came with a light-up marquee, Sanwa joysticks, and of course, a little stand for the Arcade 1-Up machine, which I probably won't use because all of the others are on the floor, but I do think it's kind of cool that it has that, and it'll make a nice little decor piece for my game room. Now, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, I ordered that through Walmart. Walmart went up with pre-orders for it. I got it at the $350 price point. Now, there was some controversy involving that. Nobody really knows if it was Walmart's decision or Arcade 1-Up's decision, but after that initial wave of $350 pre-orders went up, the next batch of pre-orders were for $399. So a lot of people were pissed off by that, but honestly, it didn't impact me because I got mine for $350. So now I've been sitting here waiting for these to come. I'm not sure when the release date is for these, so I'm just kind of waiting for these to show up. But now there's a problem, because these machines are popping up in Walmart locations all across the US, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones and the Marvel Superhero ones. Now, you're a smart individual because you're watching this channel, and you can clearly look behind me and see that there are still only 3 Arcade 1-Up machines. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, RGT, how are you going to fit the other 2 behind you? I'm probably not. I can fit like 1 more here, and then I'm going to have to rearrange some stuff, but that's besides the point. The point is, I pre-ordered these machines. I pre-ordered one directly from Arcade 1-Up. I pre-ordered one directly from Walmart. Why do I not have these machines, but these machines are showing up in stores already? That to me is a big problem, and there's really no sort of rhyme or reason for it. Now, Walmart, of course, could just be putting these out on their own merit. We saw things like this with the Mortal Kombat Arcade 1-Up machines. Supposedly, these weren't supposed to come out to like the 15th of a certain month. I don't recall what month it was, but it was earlier this year, but then they were popping out of Walmart locations. I actually drove and got my Arcade 1-Up Mortal Kombat and Final Fight machine from 2 different Walmarts because they came up earlier than they were supposed to be released. So maybe Walmart is just getting these in stock and then putting them out there for sale. But still, Walmart should not be getting these machines first. We should be getting these machines first. The people who pre-ordered these machines should be the ones getting these machines first. So, you know, people like to dog on Arcade 1-Up. It's honestly a company that I enjoy. I enjoy these Arcade 1-Up machines, but business practices like this definitely piss me off. Like, what was the point of me pre-ordering these if I could just go to a Walmart location and there's a chance that they could have the machine that I've already pre-ordered? I don't know. They should definitely be here. They should definitely have shipped out for pre-orders first and then gone into various Walmart locations. It's definitely something Arcade 1-Up needs to address, and they need to hurry up and get these machines to my house because, well, I'm just sort of impatient. But yeah, it's definitely a strange situation. Let me know in the comments section down below if you pre-ordered either the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one or the Marvel Superhero ones, and if you've gotten it yet, or if you've seen them at your Walmart location, because like I said, they're just popping up randomly, especially in the Northeast, it seems like, so you might have a chance of just walking into your Walmart and getting one before me, and really, that just kind of sucks. Next up, let's talk about Nintendo, because it seems like Nintendo is not done with first-party titles for the year of 2019. Of course, recently we were introduced to Ring Fit Adventure, a game that essentially says you are a fat ass and you need to get off the couch more and play an exercise-related game. Now, Ring Fit Adventure doesn't look all that bad. I might not pick it up, but maybe if this video gets a lot of likes and you guys leave me some funny comments about Ring Fit Adventure, I will pick it up and do a review for you guys. Of course, I will go all out with this with like a sweatband and like an 80s 90s gear, sort of dress up to do like a workout thing. But I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about it. At $80, it seems like a steep price point for something that could essentially just be tied into the one game, much like we've seen with Labo and stuff. The Labo robot kit, I remember spending $80 on that. I couldn't even assemble it, but if I could only use it with the one game, the Labo robot kit. You can't really use it with other games. So I'm definitely interested to see if that little ring fit thing ends up being implemented into other games. But like I said, Nintendo has announced another game. Now, this game is only confirmed for a Japan release right now, but more than likely this will come stateside. And it's actually pretty interesting because it sort of shuns the Nintendo Switch Lite in this game. And that is Brain Age. Yes, you remember Brain Age? Not only is Nintendo saying that you're fat, but they're saying that you're stupid and you need to sort of make your brain better and make your brain smarter. And really, with that sentence, I could probably use Brain Age. I remember playing Brain Age on the DS, and it was kind of interesting. It introduced me to Sudoku and things like that. It sort of, you know, makes your brain sort of work a little bit better. It makes you think about things a bit more clearly when it comes to sort of mathematical problems and stuff like that. But Brain Age is actually coming to the Nintendo Switch. But what's interesting about Brain Age coming to the Nintendo Switch is how it relies on IR sensors for a lot of the things that you're doing in this game. You're going to have to detach your Joy-Cons from your Nintendo Switch in order to play some of these games. There's going to be local multiplayer as well, and you're even going to have to hold your Nintendo Switch vertically for some of the stuff. Now, of course, if you have a standard Nintendo Switch, you're fine if you want to play this game, but if you have a Switch Lite, you're not going to be able to access a lot of the games involved in Brain Age. And it kind of makes me question how long this game has been in development, because obviously the Switch Lite has been in development for quite a while. A first-party Nintendo studio would know that, hey, we're making a system with non-detachable Joy-Cons. So it kind of pigeonholes the game a little bit. Obviously, this is not going to be a full-fledged release. It is going to be available on the Nintendo Switch eShop. And like I said, this is Japan only as of right now, but more than likely, I could definitely see this coming stateside. But definitely very interesting how it relies heavily on IR sensors, whereas the Nintendo Switch Lite doesn't have that ability. So it'll be interesting to see how this game sells. It's definitely something I'm going to be keeping a lookout for. You know, Nintendo's trying to get me in shape and they're trying to make my brain smart. So I got to give some credit to that, but definitely a very interesting game. Let me know if you've ever played the Brain Age games in the comments section down below. Next up, I want to give you guys a quick update on something a lot of you people have been asking me about, and that is Retromania Wrestling. Now, you might remember a few months ago on the channel, we talked about Retromania Wrestling coming to the Nintendo Switch, and it is basically the spiritual successor to WrestleFest, the awesome WWF arcade game that a lot of us grew up playing. And considering I love playing wrestling games, this is something I've been very, very excited for. Actually, in my bedroom, when I'm on my downtime for playing games, when I'm not playing games for work, I'm playing No Mercy and WCW NWO Revenge because my N64 is set up in there. So I absolutely love wrestling games. I'm not happy with the direction of the WWE series, so I've definitely been keeping my eye on this project. Well, now, since the last video, there has been a few announcements. One of them being that Retromania Wrestling will also be coming to the Xbox One. So if you only have an Xbox One, you don't own a Nintendo Switch, you will also be able to check out Retromania Wrestling. But today they actually announced a new character for the game that is going to be heavily implemented into story mode, and I'm actually very interested by this character because they're sort of different than a lot of the other wrestlers that we've seen in the game so far. There's a lot of old school wrestlers, characters like Tommy Dreamer, characters like the Road Warriors, the BWO. They all sort of have a similar style of moves. But when you're talking about this next wrestler, aka Johnny Mundo, aka Johnny Impact, aka Johnny Nitro, aka John Hennigan, who is of course a wrestler who has been available in many different companies: Lucha Underground, TNA Wrestling or Impact Wrestling, WWE. He was on ECW, of course. He is a seasoned veteran, and he will be involved in this game. He's the latest character announced. Johnny Hennigan, Johnny Hennigan. That's an inside joke that literally one person will get, and that one person probably won't watch this video, but feel free to use that song because it is kind of catchy. But what I like about John Hennigan being in this game, or as he's known in the game, Johnny Retro, is the fact that his moveset is definitely very different from the other wrestlers. He definitely has a more lucha style moveset with a lot of Hurricane Ranas, a lot of, you know, backflips and moonsaults, Starship Pain. So I'm definitely very interested to see how he is implemented, and more importantly, his moveset is implemented to this game. But I think that's a big get for Retromania Wrestling because he's sort of a well-known name that's sort of still in modern wrestling. So definitely very cool to see. They're still targeting a spring 2020 release date. Like I said, I will give you guys more updates on that game as I get them, but I'm definitely very excited to see this. And finally, EA is a company that a lot of people love to hate. Honestly, I don't necessarily hate them, I just hate sort of what they've become. During the 90s, EA was a very cool company. You had your sports games, of course, but you had games like Haunting starring Poltergeist, Road Rash. They took a lot of risks. They did a lot of interesting games. But as time has gone on, EA has just become this yearly churning out franchise machine. Of course, there is no Madden on the Nintendo Switch, which absolutely drives me crazy. I want to play as Janel Jones. New York Giants hype. The Giants are back, baby, and they might actually make the playoffs this year, or at least look somewhat decent. But of course, Madden never comes to the Nintendo Switch. But one franchise that does is FIFA. We've gotten FIFA 18 and FIFA 19 on the Nintendo Switch, and now FIFA 20 is coming to the Nintendo Switch. I believe it's already out. But at E3 2019, we learned about FIFA 20 for the Nintendo Switch, that it was going to be the Legacy Edition of the game. And what does that mean? Well, basically, it is a roster update and nothing more. And they're going to charge you full price for this game that is essentially a roster update. Now, to be fair, I do not follow soccer all that much, but I cannot imagine that there are that many roster changes when it comes to soccer. It seems like to me all of the big players sign these multi-year contracts with these clubs and then they stay there for the majority of their career. It's not like basketball or football or baseball or even hockey where there's transactions going on. Players are signing with different companies for more money and stuff like that. It seems like most of the main players stay there. And I don't feel like a lot of people play soccer games. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I don't feel like a lot of people play soccer games to play with an updated roster and an updated roster only. So the fact that this was happening was absolutely disgusting. Well, EA is getting absolutely destroyed by Nintendo Switch owners, and honestly, I'm somewhat happy about this. Now, looking at the reviews for FIFA 20 on the Nintendo Switch, people are not giving EA a pass for this. The game is currently sitting at a 44 on Metacritic. Most of the reviews are absolutely just ripping this game apart, and it's absolutely awesome to see. Now, on the flip side, the game is getting review bombed, and if you follow me on Twitter, you know I'm a bit outspoken about review bombing because I feel like a lot of people do it for stupid reasons. Something like, oh, this game isn't available on my platform, well, I'm going to give this game a 0. We saw that with things like Astral Chain. We saw that with things, a lot of upset fans about Borderlands 3 because it was only available in the Epic storefront, but then that game went on to sell over 5 million copies in a couple of days. So obviously it wasn't that big of a deal. But I feel like in this situation, when you're looking at an actual game, that there is no sort of controversy about the platform it's on. The only reason that it is getting negative press, the only reason that people are upset about this is because of shady business practices. It is somewhat more justified. Now, I don't hate EA. I'm not going to go review bomb the game or anything like that. I'm just not going to play it. I'm still interested in the Jedi Fallen Order, but hopefully this is going to send a message to EA. I think people, if they want to play soccer on their Nintendo Switch, go buy FIFA 19. Get a used copy of FIFA 19 from your GameStop. Support your GameStop and keep them in business by buying a used copy, and don't let EA get any money for this FIFA 20 situation. All I know is the message is being loud and clear to EA. Nintendo Switch owners don't want this Legacy Edition crap, and hopefully this game absolutely bombs so that EA either has to recoup and make a proper edition or just not release anymore, because I feel like most soccer fans will be fine with FIFA 19. Alright, so those were some stories I wanted to cover today on the channel for you guys that I found very interesting. As always, leave me your thoughts in the comments section down below. Be sure to hit that like button if you want to see me pick up Ring Fit Adventure. And don't forget, I'm giving away a Nintendo Switch Lite system, brand new, in the box, that you have a chance to win. Be sure to watch my Nintendo Switch Lite pros and cons video to get all the details on how to enter that. There's still plenty of time to enter that contest, so make sure you guys enter that contest. And as always, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Check out other videos on the channel, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.